So I was driving down the Grapevine, which is Interstate 5 in Southern California. I came upon this diner just kind of sitting out. It might have been a gas station or something, but I noticed it just had a couple of cars there. And it dawned on me that it's places like this that possibly great stories can come from. Because more often than not, when you hear about great circumstances, they usually started with a really small spark in a very probably nondescript place. And I thought, what could be going on in there right now? Could something really significant be happening to two people? And would they talk to each other? And if they did, what would come of that conversation? Would it lead to maybe a marriage? Would it be just a really keen friendship? Would it end up, would these people just part ways and never speak again? So as I was pondering the possibilities, one of them that came to mind was, what if one of the people was in need of help? Would the other person be willing to come out and help that person?
What's their story?
Couldn't say. My dad over there has gone through a ton of classifieds.
I wasn't in a very good place in my life at that time, financially, emotionally, and I guess I was kind of hoping that if I'm not going to be helped, maybe someone else can be helped. These are the kind of things that occur to, I imagine, everybody on the planet at some point in their life, where you're just so tired of pushing on that you just want someone to reach out to you. The story came through that moment where it connected with, not just as a storyteller, but me as a father of two children, someone who was struggling to try to keep a good face and be a father to my children when they needed me. They needed someone to look up to and sort of anchor them, and I didn't want to fail them. Could there be a person like that inside that diner who's going through this kind of thing, and would there be someone there to help them out?
Hey, Arlene.
Yeah.
Got a Sharpie?
Mm-hmm.
That was 10 years ago. I was fortunate enough then to meet the woman who is now my wife. The story kind of just sat as more of a question for a great deal of time. She being an inspiration to me, it brought a little bit of hope. It then changed that question, or gave that question an answer. And that was, yes, there is going to be someone in that diner that's going to help this person that needs help. I'm a prideful person, and so I loosely based this character that needed the help on me. So I made this person prideful as well. You shouldn't go through life with your hand out, which is kind of ironic considering you want help. That dynamic suddenly sprung to life and drove the heart of the story forward. Can you accept help when you need help? And can you do something good for someone when there isn't an audience to appreciate it? So are there unsung heroes out there that are going to look at this and identify with it? And I wanted to reach out and pat them on the back as much as I wanted to sort of extend that proverbial hand to those people that need a little bit of help and that just need a push in the right direction and learn how to ask for it.
I hope you're not going to let pride start you with generosity.
Pride? No, and this is hardly generosity. It's more like charity. And to tell you the truth, I'm a little offended.
Because I assumed you needed help.
Yes. I mean, no. Yes, yeah. Precisely.
Well, then guilty as charged.
I wanted contrast in the characters. If I put a celebrity up on there, at least everyone thinks they know what a celebrity is. The reason why I made it someone who is a noted celebrity, as it exists in this universe, this world of Melt, is that then you also carry a bundle of assumptions with that. And she purposely does this without an audience. She is a giving person, and I don't want to explain to people why that is, but her being a celebrity, people hopefully rapidly want to fill that void with their own interpretation. I wanted to instill a quick dynamic in the storyline and suddenly change Liz's situation so as not to shock the audience as much as to open up a little bit more possibilities. It's a device, I believe, that unseats the audience and changes their expectations rather rapidly. And I wanted to do that so that it allowed me as a storyteller to then quickly allow Jonah the opportunity to bear the true fruit of the gift that he received from her earlier on, because I didn't want it to come across that the gift either bought him a new house or a car or even a new life, as much as it brought him a new view of it. It gave him hope, and it just gave him enough to push him forward. If it was just money, then he would have just walked up and threw some money into her lap, and that's a little bit flat for me. I don't think that's what helping people is about. It's about inspiring someone to not just better themselves, but better the world around them. If you come into the world and leave it just a tiny bit better than the moment you came in, just think about how much better the world would be, right? If we had that sort of positive effect on our environment. And so by turning the coin and having her injured the way she was, then took away the aspect that he had any attraction to her beauty. I wanted to remove all the superficial aspects of why you help people and why you accept it or why you even return it. His journey back to her was his journey further into himself.
And I was taught a long time ago that anything can be restored. Anything. Just takes a little time and the right people.
I don't like to hit people over the head with messages. What I like to do is present a story or elements of a story in a way that they can identify. Either it reaches to them personally, or it reaches to a person through them, someone that they might know, and they may even change their perspective about. I believe optimism and benevolence and all these better traits of mankind are something that only get better if you know, like anything else, if you practice them. I would like Melt to reach out to people and sort of trigger that and remind them that, you know, this isn't something that's lost to anyone, that we can be not just better for ourselves, but better for others. I mean, the moment he realizes that she is scarred, and not just physically, that she is deeply wounded, he could have just easily said, okay, you don't want my help, goodbye. And that's a easy retreat. And I wanted to provide that moment that a lot of us are given for those easy retreats, and that it's not always right to take it. That sometimes you'd have to sort of charge forth and force the situation to get better, and it does sometimes take force. You know, their dialogue at the end is very much a battle, and she's just throwing up walls, much like he did.
No thanks. I'm fine. I should be going.
I mean, this is a story about two people from two very different walks of life, and the similarities of their struggles. That it doesn't matter what station in life that you are holding, that pride and ego can put up barriers for you no matter who you are. Those are merely walls to sort of prop up and hide your fears. It's difficult for people of all walks to ask for help. You can't just give up on someone just because they say so. Because where would he have been if she would have just said, all right, I'll take the gift back, and then drove off? Why would I make a movie like Melt as my directorial and writing debut in filmmaking? Is I'm very tied to trying to make the world a better place, and maybe as a filmmaker, that's what I'm trying to do. You know, it's a process for me as a filmmaker, because when it comes down to it, I'm just a guy. I'm another guy who's trying to share stories and trying to share in general. So I used Melt as sort of a mirror of sorts. I had material already there because I've lived this life. I've had moments of struggle, and I've lived with people that have had to live through great difficulty and pain. We all live life, and good or bad, these are the moments that come to define us.